Yeah, he's still in the concussion protocol, the last I saw. So, for those of you that didn't know, Tua played the entire game against the Green Bay Packers last week on Christmas Day, I guess I should say. And, for the first half, he looked good. But at one point during the game, he did a little dump off to Smythe, the other tight end on the roster. And on the way down, when he got tackled after the pass, he pretty much bounced his head off the turf, and no spotter saw this or anything. But after the game, it was announced he went into concussion protocol, and that might explain the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde approach to how that Dolphins Packers game went after halftime. But as of right now, he's in concussion protocol. If he misses, your next man up at quarterback more than likely is going to be Teddy Bridgewater, with the backup role going to be Skylar Thompson. But we just haven't heard anything yet of whether or not he cleared the protocol or not. The line in this game is kind of acting like Teddy Bridgewater is going to play, and New England is favored by 2.5 points at home. I'm hopeful Tua is going to play, but if Tua doesn't, at least I know Bridgewater is going to protect the ball and not put it in dicey situations and turn it over. But that's kind of my read on the Tua situation right now.
Yeah, and I was leaning towards taking the Patriots even before we heard of this news yesterday in regards to Tua's concussion. What I've seen out of the Miami Dolphins offense, it seems like they're hell-bent. And now I guess we get more clarity on the Tua situation, especially with his interceptions, because that makes a lot more sense. Because we all watched that game against the Packers and thought to ourselves, what is he looking at? Why is he throwing interceptions to linebackers that are basically thrown right to him like the receivers? I just didn't understand what he was looking at, and because of all of that, I was leaning towards taking the Patriots. And obviously, once the news came out yesterday, I fully felt good that the Patriots are going to win this game. I really don't think Teddy Bridgewater has the capabilities to run this offense the way it's supposed to be run. We saw him play early in the year, and it really just didn't look the best. So I'm feeling good about this, even though my Patriots are very erratic. We talk about this on a weekly basis. There's nothing new here. Another week, another inconsistent, erratic offensive performance by the Patriots and Mac Jones. The Bengals game was kind of interesting because the Patriots came out and laid an egg for the whole first half. It was 22-0. Looks like Joe Burrow was going to do whatever he wanted, and it wasn't until that pick six that really got the Patriots back into it. More than anything, it was the Bengals kind of crapping down their legs. So, the offense, it still isn't getting any better. It's week 17 now, and it's not going to get better. It is what it is, right? We technically only scored 6 points on Sunday, if you take away the pick six from Marcus Jones and the Hail Mary that got batted into Jacoby Myers' hands. So I don't understand how it's this bad. And the defense itself got carved up as well, so that was a little bit alarming. But I do think the Pats are going to pull this out. Mostly because the Miami Dolphins are hell bent on showing off this offense. They're sometimes they're so stupid with how they want to constantly throw the ball downfield instead of just running the ball, taking the easy yardage.
Yeah, exactly. And I've been bashing my head against the wall, specifically like the Chargers game, but where they just didn't seem to take what the defense was giving them or just attack the weakness of a defense in itself. But I feel like if the Dolphins are going to win this game, they are near the bottom third in the league, defensive, generating turnovers. Mac Jones has 8 interceptions on the season right now, but normally, I guess you could say, air quote, normally he's pretty protective of the football. So I don't think they're going to get any turnovers off of Mac Jones. So the only way they're going to win, is, in my opinion, this game, especially if Teddy Bridgewater is playing, is they generate pressure on this offensive line, which can be manhandled from time to time. Bradley Chubb is going to have a day. Phillips is going to have a day. Christian Wilkins is going to have to be a wrecking ball on that defensive line. So they're going to have to take advantage and, short fields, get them on, third and long, not have them punt, get a good advantage for, Teddy Bridgewater in this offense. I mean, I think that's the only way they're going to win on the road against the Pats. And I mean, at this point, Jay, they've lost 4 weeks in a row. They have to win this game, especially with, the Jets are still alive and, the Pats are technically still alive for a playoff spot. the Dolphins have to right the ship this week. There is no excuses. It's all hands on deck at this point. And I'm going to be the psycho that has the Dolphins winning on the road this year and getting the sweep against the Patriots. It's going to be an ugly game. It's probably going to come down to a field goal. So if you're like me, you want to bet this game, like I'm probably gonna wait to see if the line goes up to 3. Then at least I get a push type of deal. But I'm leaning towards the Dolphins in this matchup.
Now, what do you think is one of the main reasons why you guys have lost 4 in a row? Now, obviously, each individual game in itself can be, written off as it was a Chargers game where they didn't, run the ball enough, or it was the Bills up in Buffalo and we hung tough. But is there some concern with you and the Miami Dolphins fans that this thing is coming unglued a little bit? And what are your playoff scenarios going forward? I know for us, the Patriots wise, we've got to win both against the Dolphins and the Bills. And if that's the case, we might as well have Mars and the Sun align as well to get in. But what's the scenarios for you guys to get in?
We have to win. I think we have to win like this game, and the Jets have to lose because our last game of the season is Week 18 against the New York Jets. So like right now the Jets have a tiebreaker over us. So like we have to win. The Jets have to lose this week. Like that's pretty black and white here. The Jets are playing the Seahawks on the road against Seattle this week, and it's going to be the Mike White show. Whether or not Mike White's going to resurrect this team, that remains to be seen. I think it's going to be an interesting game up in the Pacific Northwest. But I'm hopeful the 12s will that Seahawks defense into like having a pulse to keep the game interesting, and hopefully Seattle pulls off the win and Miami handles their business in Foxborough. But that's really the playoff scenarios right now.